So I thought we could talk about just some practicals. What do I mean by that? So the other day, in my little office here, I was putting up some shelves, and I had to get some wall anchors, and so I went to Home Depot to buy some wall anchors for the sheetrock because it's not hitting the stud. So anyway, walked in, quickly realized that it was a long checkout line. Of course, I went on a Saturday morning when it's probably swamped with a bunch of homeowners like myself trying to get some stuff done. And I grabbed the wall anchors, and then I found my way to the long line of checkout. Everyone's masked, 6 feet apart, and waiting for the to be ushered along by the people that work there. And I couldn't help but notice all along the area where I was waiting were all these I'll call them bargain bins, right? All these tools, bunch of different random things, from tape measures to a really nice LED headlamp. Don't know when I'm going to use that. Heaters, some Christmas things for setting up lights, timers, smart outlets, remotes for outlets, all these different types of things. And they all had these big posters on them of how much they're marked down, right? 10.99 line through it, 7.99, and as I'm walking through that, I'm seeing so many things that I would like to have, like an LED headlamp. And it struck me that I, because it's a deal, I feel like there's a sense of urgency to purchase it, right? And I'm thinking of probably the one or two scenarios where I might use that and how helpful that tool would be. Well, the truth of it is, I don't need any of it. I didn't come in for any of it. It's not part of the plan. And I kind of laughed at myself as I thought, wow, I'm so close to grabbing a couple of these things, right? And how many times just in life, especially financially, are we put in spots where we just can't resist like the bait that's put out in front of us, right? And we're bombarded with it all the time. Whether it be purchase something on Amazon and it's also bought with these items and it lists a bunch of stuff. And for anyone who's doing Black Friday shopping, Cyber Monday shopping, any of that that's coming up, there's going to be a lot of that going on. And you want to be prepared to say no to those things. So, how do you do that? Have a list. When I go into Home Depot and I'm trying to find something like wall anchors, let's say I needed to find 5 things. I need a list. My wife and I constantly were texting each other, hey, going to Home Depot for these things. Or maybe we're in Costco, we're splitting up. Let's text each other. Here's the list of things we need to get. And we need to stick to the list. Believe me, I like to spend money. I like to not stick to the list. And so having a list for me is a way to make sure I'm not going to overspend. If I just try to wing it and think I'm going to remember the list, chances are I'll forget something I came in there that I needed, and I'll bring home 2 or 3 other things that I like or that I want, right? And that gets us back to the classic, the forever drama of needs versus wants. And as we start to get into these holidays, uh, most of what we're doing are wants, and it's not bad to have wants. In fact, it's nice to have some wants. We want to try to take advantage of some of them if we can. But we got to remember we've got to make space for the needs first. So, what are the needs that we have as we approach these holidays? Right? It's going to continue to be food, shelter, clothing, transportation to work, internet access if we're working from home. Those types of things are obvious needs. But then we need to start to make a list of what those other wants are and prioritize them. Right? If we want to buy each member of our family a present, then we need to do that. If we want prime rib for Christmas dinner, we might have to let some other things go if we're going to do that. Or maybe that's just lower on the list. And we look at all these priorities we have and we start funding them with the amount of money we have available in our budget to do that. And if we don't have money available in our budget to do it, we can't do it unless we find some extra money. So how do we find some extra money? I know some people that are doing a bunch of different crafts and selling things as they approach the holidays, whether it's an Etsy store or just on Facebook or Facebook Marketplace, or there's tons of different ways that you can try to, sell some stuff, do some type of crafty thing. I was talking to my wife the other day. We've got one of those nice nativity cutouts that I had done years ago, a template. You throw it on a piece of plywood, you cut it out, spray paint it white. Probably cost me $40 to make. I I could probably sell them for like 100 something each, maybe 200. I don't even know. I could probably Google it and find out. But the truth is, if I wanted to, I could probably make a couple of those and sell a few before Christmas if I did want to have some extra spending money to do. So those are ideas that you can do. You can also cut out things that maybe you're not going to do. Maybe historically you've traveled for Christmas or for Thanksgiving and you're not going to do it this year. Well, that's money saved. What can you allocate that towards in your budget, right? The last thing we want to do is have a credit card bill or just kind of kick things down the road and pay for them later. That's never a good plan. It's a terrible plan. So let's figure out how to get in front of this. We know how much income we have coming in, or we should have a ballpark idea about it. If we can pick up overtime, great. If we can sell some stuff on the side, great. Figure out all our income that we have coming in, budget our needs, and then list our wants in priority order and see how much money we have available to accomplish as many of those wants as we can. You can do this, but just be aware of all those ways that we get baited into spending more money and getting kind of diverted from the plan that we're on. Don't fall into those traps.